Hi, in this video we are going to learn some addition reactions of carbonyl compound. As we know that addition reactions are those in which a substituent or generally a nucleophile or electrophile gets attached to a parent molecule. So here the parent molecule will be our carbonyl compound and there will be nucleophilic attack on the carbonyl compound. Why nucleophilic attack? Because we have seen in the previous video of physical properties that the carbonyl group is polarized, and because of that there is a partial positive charge on carbon, so that will behaves as an electrophilic center where a nucleophile can easily attack. Hence, as we can see here also, that due to the polarization or polarity, there is a partial positive charge on carbon and partial negative charge on oxygen. So a nucleophile can easily attack on this sp2 hydroxide carbon atom and can convert it into sp3 hybridized, which on further hydrolysis converted into an alcohol. Now this is the very basic addition reaction. We will see some examples in. Now next come to addition of Grignard reagent. So Grignard reagent, which we all know, is RMGX, which is a organometallic compound. So here the alkyl group behaves as a nucleophile and attacks on the carbonyl group and forms an alcohol. Now it is a very interesting, when we want to form a primary alcohol, the primary alcohol can only be seen with formaldehyde or the very basic aldehyde, which is called methanol. When there is a ethanol or higher aldehyde, then there will be formation of a 2-degree alcohol or secondary alcohol, and when there is a ketone, there is a formation of 3-degree alcohol or tertiary alcohol. So by this we can also differentiate between, but there is no color formation, so it is not of practical purpose. But still, if there is a formation of secondary alcohol in product, then definitely the starting will be an aldehyde and not the formaldehyde, if the starting reactant is a carbonyl compound. So remember this, whenever this reaction is also helpful in conversion also. When we want to add a extra carbon or a extra alkyl group to the aldehyde and want to convert in alcohol, then this reaction will be very helpful. Now coming to next, addition of alcohol. Addition of alcohol leads to acetal formation. Here the RO group in alcohol, after hydrolysis, RO minus ion and RO minus nucleophile is generated and hydrogen is remains in solution H positive ion, so forms the solution acidic, and this RO minus nucleophile attacks and forms an acetal or a JM diether. Here the RO minus will attack here and forms a acetal or JM diether. Also, addition of hydroxylamine, which is NH2OH, will be same as that of addition of ammonia derivative, where the reaction will take place like this. Here the attack from O side does not take place from oxygen, but attack takes place from the nitrogen. This is important, that as one may confuse that attack will take place from oxygen and the reactions takes place somewhat like that of alcohol, but no, here the attack takes place from nitrogen, because it is more attack takes place from nitrogen, and thereby the product formed is this. Now the next comes is halogenation of ketones. So the halogenation means addition of halogens which can be takes place in either by a pure halogen, which is X2, that is either reaction with chlorine, bromine or iodine directly will give us a product which is also addition, and the attacks takes place here. It is interesting to know that the attacks takes place on a carbon which is next to the carbonyl carbon. The attacks do not takes place on the carbonyl carbon. So this is here important thing to notice, that the attacks takes place on the carbon which is adjacent to carbonyl carbon, or we can say that beta carbon. But when the PCl5 is used for halogenation, then the attacks takes place on the carbon which is carbonyl carbon, and here two halogens are added to the reactant. And similarly, if we want to substitute fluorine, then we need to form with SF4. Here remember that direct halogenation cannot be takes place in case of fluorine. Only chlorine, bromine and iodine gives the direct halogenation, which is also at the carbon which is adjacent to the carbonyl carbon. And in case of PCl5, two chlorine molecules gets attached to the carbon which is carbonyl carbon, and with SF4 we can substitute fluorine also, or sorry, we can add fluorine also. Now addition of bisulfite is similar. Here NaHSO3 is used and the nucleophile is SO3 minus Na positive, so this will attack and react in a similar fashion as we have seen in the previous slides. For example, the benzaldehyde reacted with this in the similar fashion, but remember that here the reaction do not takes place. This may be due to the hindrance and some other factors, but the reaction do not takes place here. This is all about addition reaction of carbonyl compounds. In the next video, we will going to learn about other reactions of carbonyl compounds, which are acid catalyzed dehydrations and other. Thank you for watching. For any queries, please ask your queries at 9680 887559. WhatsApp me and I will answer. Thank you.